Everybody, we are back live for the championship game of the 2023 SSA Las Vegas Big Ball Championship. A little fancy work here by the ground school. Looks like a big 16-inch softball. A little SSA. Adjust the park up nice for this championship game. Syndicate, of course, went clean. And they're over there in the first base dugout. We're going to show you a little third base because of where the sun is. It's peeking through. I want to screw up the camera, so this will be our first time showing a game from the third base side today. And again, for those of you new to it, it's a 16-inch style softball with a twist. The teams are wearing the gloves here as we're waiting on the lineup card for Sluggers, who lost their first game to the Syndicate. And they worked their way all the way back through the triple game guarantee loser bracket to find their way back into the championship. And as the tournament has progressed, the Sluggers have been, sorry about that, I don't know how much of that you caught with where the angle of my microphone was, but Sluggers have worked their way back, and Syndicate's been swinging a heavy bat as well. So just waiting to get the lineup card as Syndicate won the toss, and they'll be the home game. Again, the Sluggers need to win 2 in order to win the title. Syndicate wins, this will be it. They'll be the new champs. So we're just kind of waiting on the lineup card. And we'll get moving here very shortly. Again, this is Chicago 16-inch style softball, 60-foot bases. You can lead off, but you can't steal. Pitcher gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action. He must deliver the ball to the plate. 6-12 on the arc. And leading off is going to be Brian Bailey. Is that right? Is that Brian or Blaine? Blaine Bailey. Okay. So Blaine Bailey, and then Austin Allen, and then Ryan Carroll for the Sluggers team as we're underway here. Pitcher gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. We're playing with a glove, so there's no drag step. And 300-foot fences, anything that bounces through, under, or over the fence. And there's a swing by Blaine, and he leads off. And that ball gets past Brady Fisher, and that's going to be a leadoff home run. Sluggers take an early 1-0 lead. So Blaine Bailey hit a sinking line drive into left center field. Brady Fisher couldn't get there. Solo homer to lead the game off. And again, we talk all the time about how sometimes with the with the first championship game, the team that goes clean sometimes and they sit gets a little bit of a slow start. And Brady Fisher there was kind of in between on his jump and couldn't get there. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Austin Allen pounds a base hit off of McMahon's glove. And the Sluggers, despite the heat today, they got a lot of energy. So right now, if you're the Syndicate, what you really want to do is get a handle on this and not let them put up a big, ugly, crooked number. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. And it's going to bring up Ryan Carroll. And he takes a pitch there for a ball. Again, open count here. Sun has started to fade here. And it's cooled off a little bit here at Desert Breeze Park. There's a ground ball. Straggle from his knees to second. And they turn the double play. Drew Straggle, again, the first time we saw Drew, he was playing second base. Made a nice play going to his right. caught the ball. He ended up going down to his knees, flipped it before he completely hit the ground. And the short center, Drew Schulte, fired to first, and they got the double play by half a click. And here's Chaz Martinez. Chaz actually a prospect in the Kansas City Royals farm sister, left-handed pitcher out of Oklahoma. Had a nice conversation with him. Says he tops out at 96. And there's a swing and a knuckleball, and that ball skips past the right fielder. And Chaz is going to end up with a solo blast. 2 solo home runs there, as he had a sinking line drive knuckleball. Cole Gruel, normally very, very dependable, came in, couldn't make the catch. That ball was dancing all over the place, and it skipped past him, and it was all academic. 2-0 Sluggers. Brings up Cody Lavender. So the Sluggers have come all out here. Had a nice conversation. They were waiting to play Remix when Remixed knocked Good Draw out. And they were very loose, very confident. They felt like they were going to make it back to the championship, and here they are. Cody swings, and he pounds it, and that's a base hit in front of Gruel. So 2-0. How big was the double play now? As we look back on it, great play by Drew Streigel. Got it over to Drew Schulte, and Drew threw a absolute rocket to first, or this inning could have really, really looked ugly. So here's Ivan Cheveria. And again, using mats tonight, which we really know a lot of people in Chicago, we really don't use them. High pop-up, could be trouble, and it drops in. Good hustle by Lavender to get all the way to third. Angelo Alicia, nice stop there. So that was a little duck snort. Brandon Dutton got turned around. Again, these infields are cut so deep that it does fool you as an outfielder on where you're playing. Now they got runners on the corners, and here's Mondo Martinez. And had a great conversation. It was him, Chaz Martinez's brother, yesterday over at South Point at the meet and greet. And very personable kid. And there's a foul ball way out of play. Now, back in the day in Chicago, in certain parts, when you hit foul balls a certain distance, they called it the mope rule. They just called you out. Berwyn was notorious for it, as they had a building that was out of bounds, and if you hit the building, you were out. And Clyde Park also was in a residential neighborhood. We've been out there, and they have quite two alleys that run on two sides of the field. Drew Schulte can't make the play. Third run scores. So Lavender scores. Schulte can't make the play on the base hit, and that'll bring up Moose Huntelman. So 3-0 here. Sluggers has been all business. And here comes Moose. So again, 3-0 here. Sluggers have jumped right out on top. And one thing we know about the Syndicate, because of the players they have and how much experience they have, they're not going to roll over. But the bottom line is you don't want this thing to get out of hands. And there's a big, long stretch there by the big fella, Kevin Smith, made the play. So there we go at the end of a half an inning, 3-0. I think it was 3. They're saying, was it 4? 3. So coach said 3. So we head to the bottom of the first now. Our first look at the Syndicate here. Again, they had a very long layover. And you never know how a team necessarily is going to react after that. We've talked about that all the time. And, you know, the front of their shirts, even though they're Sluggers, say Slug Show. And I asked them, where did that come from? And I got to tell you, they really didn't have a great answer. They're like, well, you know, some people call us the Sluggers, some say Slug. But regardless of whatever they call us, we're always putting on a show. So just like that, we head to the bottom of the first. It's going to be Angelo Alicia, Jared Carlson, and Jake McMains. And again, a lot of times when a team comes through that loser's bracket, you want to dissuade them early. And Sluggers came right out and put a 3 spot. So if you're Syndicate, you don't want this to turn into an issue for your club. And sometimes when I say that, what I'm meaning, and there's Angelo, a little slap and run, and he's going to be out at first. So again, I think Angelo was trying to guide it through the hole, ended up kind of pulling that ball a little too much right to Lavender at short center, and he made an easy play on it. And that'll bring up Jared Carlson. I think what I was getting at there was you're coming out, you won the winner's bracket, okay, you're a little stiff, but you don't want to get punched hard in the mouth in the first inning, and all of a sudden you go an inning or two and you don't really score. And if the other team is playing offense, then it starts to slow but sure potentially creep into your noggin a little bit. And you don't want it to become problematic because, you know, if you lose this game, you still got another one if you're the Syndicate. But sometimes you never know what's going to happen. So 1 out, walk there for Carlson, and that's going to bring up McMains, and he's been on fire today. And I tell you, Jake is a very, very solid offensive player. Just watching the Syndicate today, he's used several parts of the field. And it's almost like he's trying to con you a little bit by flipping the ball the other way. And then later on, he goes to that hard swing, and that ball just explodes. Carlson will make it to third. And I tell you, McMains is strong, man. That ball had a sound that you don't hear up from a 16-inch softball. And here's the big guy, Kevin Smith. Now that it's a little cooler, there is not much breeze here at Desert Breeze. As I look at the top of the trees, we're not really seeing much movement, so it's a very calm day. And he swings and hits a towering fly ball. And that's caught out there. Both runners will advance. Syndicate's on the board, 3-1, Sluggers. So Kevin definitely trying to hit a bomb there. Back shoulder dipped a little bit. He hit it right up the elevator shaft for the second out. And when we did the Winter Bracket Championship game, Sid Beck, who's in the box now, was the player of the game as he hit 2 home runs. And then he hit a ball that depends on how kind the scorekeeper was. Certainly was a triple. And there he goes, line drive to the gap, but nicely done as the left fielder scoots over. Made it look pretty easy. Thomas Allen got a great jump on that, puts it away for out number 3. But in the inning, the Syndicate does score a run. They do close to 3-1, and we'll head to the top of the second inning. So you can see here that they are certainly pretty excited to be here. And it looks like Thomas Allen and then Trevor Allen. And I believe they're only hitting 10. And then they'll be cycled back to the top. So Thomas Allen, who just made that nice catch, and they got 3 Allen brothers on this team. The only guy they're missing is the father, Trevor. So here's Thomas, Trevor on deck. Then I believe they'll be back to the top with Blaine Bailey. So 3-1 ball game. This is the first championship game, and we are bringing it to you live from Desert Breeze Park in Las Vegas, Nevada, live stream powered by Gold Rush Gaming. So here we are now, and that ball a little short. Again, this mat has really made it a little bit tougher. There he comes through with a strike. McMain's done a pretty good job today. And Allen swings and he just punches it in front of the left fielder, Brady Fisher. So we told you the Sluggers have been kind of heating up as the day has gone on. And I do got to tell you that coming into this ball game, if you had a handicap it, you would have said the Syndicate was favored, especially the way they did kind of handle. Well, I take that back. It was a close game with the Sluggers. They led for a bit. And there's a little fade. Fair ball right on the line. And now he takes a big turn right in our living room. Out at third. So that's an example there. Trevor Allen walked the dog down the right field line. Thomas Allen kind of got to second, took a little bit of a turn, but it wasn't an aggressive I'm going turn. And they threw the ball behind him, and he just kept going at that point. Drew Schulte threw a strike to third, and we had the tag play right in front of us, right in your living room. So here's Blaine Bailey, homered to lead the game off. So that might turn out to be a big play, as it looked like they were going to have their first 2 hitters on. But with the unconventional, and again, you give the hitter a hit there. There's a ground ball. Schulte, and they throws to first. And he did call him safe. That's a good call. I believe we had that. He did not get to the bag. Drew did what a lot of us short centers do, tried to fake it. Good call there by the second base umpire.
I got you, Trev.
And the hitter also beat it out at first. So 1 out here, 2 on for Austin Allen.
Hey, you guys, help our runners out. Come on.
So again, that unconventional throw it at third here. And there's a base hit. 1 run is going to score. Here comes the base runner. And he takes the big turn, but he stays. Big base hit. Austin Allen gets a base hit there. It's going to bring up Ryan Carroll. 2 runs in the inning, I believe, now.
I got you over here, Ross.
You guys got 2 already?
No.
1. Okay, 1. Okay, 1 run so far this inning. Got a lot of action going on. One in, runners on the corner, one out. So Ryan Carroll up
One down, right? One down.
with Chaz Martinez. So right now, Sluggers playing with a lot of juice, a lot of energy.
Go with your instinct.
As they've just come out here flying around the bases. And there's another hit. Second run scores, and they're playing first and third. So Ryan Carroll sat back and just hit a Humpty into left field. Here comes Chaz Martinez. Runners on the corner now. 2 runs in here as they've extended the lead to 5-1. And again, sometimes teams just get on a roll, and that's what's happening right now with this Slugger team. As they are just swinging it here and really, really putting it out there.
He don't want to face you. He don't want to face you. He knows. He knows.
And that's a little deep. And there's a strike.
Green light, huh? Green light.
So Chaz was being very
Good job, done, bud.
patient. Here's McMains. Throws another strike, so full count
Come
now.
on, buddy. Carroll, one.
There's only one out here. And Chaz just hits a knuckleball into the gap. 1 run scores. They're going to send him, but he falls down. And now he's going to have to come back. So should have been a 2-run double, but Ryan Carroll stumbled around third. Inhaled a little dirt, but he's okay. Brings up Lavender. Another run in, though.
I got you.
It's now a 6-1 ball game. And Lavender goes the opposite way. Gruel on the catch. He'll just throw it in. Keep Martinez at second. Another run scores. 4 runs in the inning. 7-1. 7-1 Sluggers. 3 in the first, 4 in counting here in the second. 2 outs. And again, think about it, folks. If the Syndicate doesn't get that out at third, this had the potential to really blow up and be a monster inning. As it is, they have put up 4, and they lead 7-1. And there's a line drive, make it 8-1. And now Cole Gruel struggles, and Lavender will take another base. So here comes Ivan Cheveria. And it looks like they're going to make a change here. As Sluggers really swinging it. So they're going to talk about it. 8-1. They do have Kurt Hewen over there, a veteran, if they were going to go that route, but they're going to stay with McMains. Obviously, McMains is an elite bat. So, but it is 8-1. The question is, how much rope are you going to give him? Now, McMains has got a smile on his face. Here's Mondo Martinez. And he swings, and he dumps it in front of Fisher. They do hold the runner. Mondo Martinez just reached out and punched it over the infield. We've seen him do that a couple of times today. As the Sluggers have just really coming out. Amalia, I believe the Psychopaths still have a team. As a group, they couldn't get the whole squad out this weekend. And some of these guys do play with the Sluggers on occasion. So here's Moose. Hunnelman. And this has been a rock-solid inning here.
Hey, hop that behind you.
8-1. We're only in the second inning. Syndicate so far in this game, being roughed up a little bit. McMains grabs a strike there. And again, we told you coming in that the Sluggers have just been getting better and better offensively. And the year the Psychopaths won, that's what they did. Their first couple of ball games that year when they won this tournament, they weren't swinging it real good. They were surviving with their defense. And then the last 2 or 3 games of the tournament, man, they just opened up. And that's kind of a pattern we're seeing here. High fly ball, Brady Fisher grabbed it barehanded. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Again, he did have 2 strikes. I think that's why Brady, just having some fun, was going to try to one-hand it without using the mitt. But it's 8-1 as they throw a 5-spot. 8-1, Mike. As they throw a 5-spot up in the second. They go up 8-1. And right now, if you're the Syndicate, you're right on that border of turning these slugger guys into monsters.
I need some defense now, baby. Let's go.
So you see the Syndicate guys, they're all standing up. They're still engaged in the ball game, but we'll see just what they can do. It's Cole Gruel leading off. Then it's going to be Brandon Dutton and Brandon Gerst. So the Syndicate, seems odd to say that you need to get going this early in a ball game, but they do need to get going. I think more so from a psychological standpoint, because how you lose a game, if the score should hold, is important. I always felt that you always want to finish strong, even if you lose a ball game, because that makes your group feel better. Little ground ball to second. There was a little bobble. They called him safe. So there were a couple of bobbles there. The second baseman, Austin Allen, had a little bobble. Then he threw it to the first baseman, Ivan Chaveria, and he had a slight bobble. And Cole Gruel, running hard all the way, beats it out. So the leadoff man is on for Brandon Dutton. So we'll see if they can do anything with that. It's rolling in the bottom of the second. I got to take a breath. And Brandon punches it. That's good. That's good scouting there. Because Brandon has had a couple of hits today, just pooching it down that right field line. And the right fielder there, Blaine Bailey, read it all the way and made it look easy. So here's Brandon Gerst, Drew Striegel on deck. And there's a little chopper over to short center. He steps on it and threw a strike to first, double play, short center to first. Cody Lavender, that was tailor-made. And I tell you, Cody didn't screw around. He wound up and threw a rocket to Ivan Chaveria, making sure that it would not be a close play. So we're going to head to the top of the third, 8-1. So, see the coach hugging his kid, saying, "That's my son over there." As Blaine Bailey read it brilliantly and came flying in. And here are the two guys that started off that 5-run inning. Thomas Allen and Trevor going back to back, second time in the ball game. We'll see if they get the same type of results they had in that 5-run second. So right now, the Syndicate team, they've been punched in the mouth here in the first 2 innings by this Sluggers team. And sometimes you think And there's a swing. Smith makes the catch for out number 1. Sometimes you think because you beat a team earlier in the tournament, Syndicate did dump the Sluggers into the losers bracket. Sluggers actually led that game at one point, and then they came back, got a couple of errors, and there's Drew Schulte, and he bounces it, and they get him at first. So there's an out at first. Sluggers didn't. And so that's going to be an out there. And now they're back to the top of their lineup.
Let's go right now.
With Blaine Bailey. 8-1 now. Here's a good example now. You're up 8-1. And you can always ask for help. 8-1 Sluggers. But the problem is an umpire doesn't necessarily have to give it to you. And there's a ground ball, and that skips past Dutton. And with 2 outs, I thought for a second there Blaine Bailey might try to go to second, but he shut it down. So an umpire does not have to give you help if they feel like they had a clean view of it. And my point always is, you're winning the game 8-1. You want to stay focused on what you're doing.
Don't even know. Get in the game. Let's go. Time out. Go.
So here's Austin Allen. So, again, this is the kind of stuff that, as a younger team, you don't want to get and lose your focus. So here comes Austin Allen here, 2 outs, runner on first. And there's a swing and a ball hit right to Brady Fisher.
Hey, play some D now. Let's go. Hey, let's play some D now. Let's go.
Yeah, CC, they're not complaining about Mike behind the plate. They didn't like the call at first base. And the umpire just trying to get them to refocus and play softball. That's all. So we are now, that is the first inning that there was a goose egg on behalf of Sluggers. And realistically, now if you're Syndicate, you finally got an inning to catch your breath here. And like I said, you're winning the ball game. Everything's going your way. There's really no reason to start any type of controversy with the umpire. And that's why when I played the game and when I managed, I told my teams, I'm going to talk to the umpire. You guys are going to play softball. And it becomes very difficult. That's why I think if you're playing softball, trying to manage at the same time, it's very difficult.
Don't fall apart now. You better call it.
So here's Drew Striegel. It'll be Drew Schulte and then Brady Fisher, the bottom third of the lineup. And we talk all the time how they got to, if you're going to win in games and win championships, you need to have that bottom pitch in. And Drew tries to go deep. Long run, caught by the right fielder. So Allen got a tremendous jump on it. Thomas Allen got out there and made the catch, running hard toward the foul pole. Drew Striegel trying to catch him sleeping. Needed one more biscuit at breakfast, and he might have got that over his head. So here's Drew Schulte. And again, sometimes when you're getting thumped a little bit, and Drew, fair ball down the line. Cut off by Allen. Drew, a tall kid, a long strider, easy stand-up double. So with 1 out, they put a runner in scoring position.
Hey, play for the out.
Right now, Syndicate down 7. Looking for any kind of a spark. Base hit here by Brady. And there's a ground ball fair down the third base line. Drew is going to score. They'll throw it to second, but Fisher pounds it right over the bag. And it's now an 8-2 ball game. Still only one out here. And now they got their top coming up with Angelo Alicia. Then Jared Carlson. So the bottom of the Syndicate lineup coming through here, producing a run. It's now 8-2. Brady Fisher scores him, and Angelo tries to go deep, and he beats him over the top. That ball's going to roll to the screen. And Angelo Alicia, with a look of determination, as he hits the 2-run homer, and he cuts the lead to 8-4.
Hey, let's start over now. Come on.
Now, last inning, Blaine Bailey came flying in on a short cut. He was cheating him, and the old veteran and Hall of Famer told him, no, you can't do that. And he hit a rocket over his head for a 2-run homer. Again, we haven't seen Angelo muscle up in a while, but the old guy showed you he can still go. And once it hit the carpet, it was rolling to the screen. And Carlson goes big. Nobody's getting that ball. And that is going to bounce off the fence. Carlson, and they're going to send him. And there's a solo home run, 8-5. Jared Carlson reached back and hit a bomb into the alley. Again, 300-foot fences. Hit that about 275. Think the Syndicate caught a break there. It looked like it had a chance to maybe hit the turf and bounce over, but it did not.
Hey, let's go now.
And just like that, the Syndicate has exploded a little bit, and they're close to 8-5. And here's McMains, and he goes the other way. A little fumble. Third baseman reached down and couldn't hold on.
Hey, let's go now.
So the Syndicate, after kind of getting a goose egg in the top of the third, all of a sudden come out here. They already got 4 in. They got a runner out with 1 out here for big Kevin Smith. And I tell you, the wind hasn't really been a factor. It's starting to get a slight breeze, and Smith goes the other way. Should be caught here. It is. McMains fakes a tag, but he goes back. 2 outs in the inning now. Brings up Sid Beck. We've already seen the fact that Sid Beck is capable of hitting home runs. 8-5, and suddenly a brand new, different looking ball game here. Yeah, Randy, that's a good team, the Psychopaths. No doubt about it. A lot of good dudes on that team. So we got two ball clubs here going at it. One from Iowa, one from California. And there's a hard ground ball up the middle, backhand by Allen, and he calls him out at second. McMains didn't like the call. But in the inning, 4 runs. Game is tightened up, 8-5 right now. Sid Beck grounds into a fielder's choice.
Surprise. It's all right. Now you know.
So good job there by the Syndicate to get back into it. So now we got Ryan Carroll, Chaz Martinez, and Cody Lavender. So I think right now, if you're Sluggers, you got to be careful because the Syndicate's starting to feel better about the project. And what you really want to do here is you want to answer with a run or two and let them know, A, you're not intimidated, and B, that you are not going to stop. So, and if you're McMains now, your team just scored 4 to get back in. You don't want to walk nobody. You want to make sure they're swinging to get on. And he called that pitch a strike. Ryan Carroll thought he had a walk. Had to pull it back and kind of get back over there. And that pitch is deep. So the dreaded leadoff walk brings up Chaz Martinez, Cody Lavender lurking on deck. Again, we are live. And it looked like it was going to be all sluggers, but the Syndicate, a little different story. They've tightened it up here. And now this is shaping up to maybe be a fantastic final. Again, sluggers must win twice to win the title. So here's the pitch, a little deep. And they're pitching very carefully here to Chaz Martinez. And he skies a fly ball. Gruel started back, but now he recovers. And that's out number 1. So Chaz looked like he was really trying to dip and drive. Back shoulder dipped just a little bit, hit it right up the shaft. And he had a good pitch to hit, too. Here's Cody Lavender. He's been laying some ropes out. And there's a swing up the middle. Dutton waved a glove. Brandon Dutton up the middle, nonchalantly waved a glove, picking the ground ball up. Stepped on the bag, threw low to first. But the ball got scooped nicely. We told you earlier that Brandon Dutton has been one of the best shortstops in Iowa and actually in 16-inch softball for a long, long time. So in back-to-back now, sluggers have gone dry in both the third and the fourth. And right now, the Syndicate, as we head to the bottom of the fourth, we're halfway through, 8-5 sluggers. And I think right now, Syndicate's feeling pretty good. They got a little momentum. And this half inning, this could end up being make or break here. Not that Syndicate doesn't score, but this could be an inning momentum-wise where they might take a lead and not look back. So we'll see if sluggers can find a way to maintain the lead here. Cole Gruel, I like it. He's being very patient. I used to tell my guys, how do we know a guy can throw strikes if we're not taking any pitches? There's a ground ball to second. Nicely done over there. As Austin Allen, moving to his left, stayed down, made the play. Good start for the sluggers. Here's that guy that made that slick double play, Brandon Dutton. And here's a pitch a little deep. Again, he looks a lot like Opie from Iron and Good Draw. And the guys over there call Brandon Iowa Opie because of the similarities. We had a little fun with them on the earlier broadcast about that. And Brandon beats it in the ground, and Allen snags it, and he makes the pitch, or the flip to first, I should say. So nicely done there by Trevor Allen. And I like the sluggers here. They come right out. Trevor, so far, doing a good job here. Again, his job is to get the Sluggers back into the dugout. As right now, Iowa has not been able to really take off as we got Brandon Gerst up. As we are a little bit over halfway through this first championship game out here at Desert Breeze Park in Las Vegas, and Lavender got fooled there as Brandon Gerst stepped up to hit the ball. Cody looked like he thought he was going to hit it to the left field side of the bag, broke his knee down, and he actually slapped it through the hole on the other side of the bag. And it brings up Drew Striegel. And they're kind of cheating Drew a little bit here on this turf. And I got to tell you, AstroTurf outfields are a lot different if you're not used to playing on them. And there's a line drive base hit. And the courtesy runner, Cole Gruel, will stop at second. I was going to say, sometimes you got to be careful on the turf because you got to give yourself an angle to cut something off into a gap. And all of a sudden, what should be just a line drive single turns into a double, triple homer when the ball scoots to the fence. Here's Drew Schulte. Brandon Gerst on deck. So first and second with 2 outs, they'll be running on the swing. Any type of a stretch single. And Drew Striegel, who is kind of an aggressive base runner, he may score. And there's a bullet down the line. 6-run scores. There's a bobble. Striegel will have to stop. He thought about it on the bobble, and he might have had a shot, but he was kind of peeking as he was running instead of picking this guy up and letting him be his eyes. 8-6. Runners on the corner now for Brady Fisher. So it looked like the Sluggers were going to get out clean. They got the first 2 hitters, and all of a sudden there's been a little activity here. And there's a base hit. 8-7 with 2 outs and nobody on. The Syndicate's exploded, and again, it's that bottom of the lineup pitching in. 8-7 now. Sluggers lead down to a run as the Syndicate has come to life here the last 2 innings. So they've scored 7 runs here in the last 2 innings. Here's Angelo Alicia checking out the right fielder. Last inning, he hit a ball over his head. Blaine Bailey playing him a little deeper. Where Angelo has a hole is if it's a line drive over to umpire. And that's a great play. Throw across. Called him safe. Pulled him off the bag. Bases loaded. And the coach is correct. It did temporarily save a run. And here's Jared Carlson. All Jared did was hit one about 280 into the gap. If he does that again, he might turn this game on its head. So 2 outs, bases filled with Syndicate runners, 8-7 here in the bottom of the 4th. Jared takes a strike there. And Jared rockets one 8-8, 9-8. Alicia gets to third. 2-run, 2-out single. And the Syndicate takes its first lead 9-8. And it brings up McMains. Angelo Alicia, I got to tip my hat. He's got a homer and a triple. He's not even breathing hard. He tried to flex there. Nothing happened. Having a good time with Angie, one of my favorites. So here's McMains. All of this with 2 outs, folks. It was 8-5, and they've put up a 5 spot. And now they put up a 6 spot, 10-8. 10-8. So they came in trailing 8-5, 5 runs with 2 outs. Again, the bottom part of the Syndicate lineup deserves a lot of credit to these last 2 innings when they scored the 4 in the third, and so far the 5 here in this inning was all triggered by the bottom of the lineup. So the Sluggers now trying to slow the game down, and here's the big guy, Kevin Smith. Again, Kevin on the all-Geo team. And even though there are 300-foot fences, that ball he hit out in Melrose Park in late June would have been well out of this facility. And now he just flips it the other way, but Blaine Bailey comes in and puts an end to the inning. But 10-8 ball game as they push 5 across as we head to the top of the 5th. Pretty good championship game here at the 2023 Las Vegas Big Ball Tournament. Trailing 2, 10-8. Been a crazy game. Both teams have a 5-run inning. Sluggers also have a 3-run inning, and the Syndicate also has a 4-run inning. So runs coming in bunches in this ball game. Again, we are live from Desert Breeze Park for the SSA annual Big Ball Getaway Tournament. And if you're interested and you want to put a team in maybe next year, shoot us an email at info@ssasoftball.com and we'll put you in touch with Ronnie Matriciano, and he can give you details about how to reserve it and how to get on a list to get in. Again, we try to keep this to a one-day event, so we're only going to take 12, maybe 13, 14 teams, if that. So there's a swing and a ground ball. Nicely done as the first baseman with a long reach, Brandon Gerst, snagged that. Drew Striegel at second might have had a chance to get there, but it would have been a tough play. So Ivan Chaveria grounds out to his counterpart, and it brings up Mondo. And Mondo swings, but right to center field, and nicely done. Good break there on that fly ball by Sid Beck. And, you know, we told you even when it was 8-1, Iowa has got a lot of veteran guys who have played a lot of 16-inch softball, so you knew they weren't going to pack it up. And here's Moose Huntelman. And that's part of the problem. You know, the team that sits and waits, it usually takes them a couple of innings to kind of get back into the flow of what they were doing earlier. And that seems to be exactly what happened here with Syndicate. As the first 3 innings coming off of that long layover, they gave up 8 runs, only scored 1. In the 2 innings since that, they've scored 9 runs and given up now nothing the last 3 innings. So, and it can be pretty frustrating, but that's one of the tremendous things about this game and why people love to play it and why we're glad you're all tuning in and watching it is these games can turn on a dime and a team will be cruising along and all of a sudden a team will just jump up and start wailing away. So it is 10-8 right now. And we'll see what's going to happen here with the Iowa team. And it's going to be Sid Beck, Cole Gruel, and Brandon Dutton. Coming in, like I said, coming into this championship game, just eyeballing and watching the event, I thought that the Iowa Ball Club was playing the best of everybody. Sluggers were getting progressively better. And there's a rocket, and Mondo Martinez got a great read. He almost overran it. He's telling his short center, that ball almost took my head off, even though he was moving, as he caught it right around his ear. And that was absolutely smoked. And now Cole Grua, a little ground ball to third, pitch and catch. Nice scoop over there by Ivan Chavarria as he bails out his third baseman, Ryan Carroll. And I like the fact that Chavarria, after the scoop, just threw it around the infield. I have seen first basemen where they start giving their infielders the fisheye. Here's Brandon Dutton. 2 out, nobody on. That didn't matter last inning. We'll see if they continue their 2-out wizardry. But I tell first baseman, what are you looking funny at the infielder when he makes a bad throw and you got to scoop it? And Brandon Dutton just threw it out there like it had a parachute. 2-out base hit. Brings up Brandon Gerst, the 8th place hitter. So I tell him that's part of your job description as a first baseman, is to save the team errors and runs. So you can't get hot because one of your guys threw a bad ball, and there's a swing. Blaine Bailey jogs over and puts it away. So Sluggers got what they needed there, which was a goose egg, so they could catch their breath. We go top of the 6th. It's a coin flip, 2-run game here, 10-8. And again, if you're the Sluggers now, you got to understand something. Okay, you had an 8-1 lead. You're trailing 10-8, but you got 6 outs left. So this game has been 2 teams trading some haymakers, a lot of game left, 2 innings. So if you're the Slug Show, you just got to keep doing your thing. So it's going to be Thomas Allen, Trevor Allen, and then the top of the lineup. Just got to take a quick breath here, folks, as this game's been a little bit of a roller coaster.
Come on, baby, let's go. Over here. Come on, Thomas, let's go, babe. Find it, huh?
Sometimes a nickel will get you farther than you think, Amalia. Especially if it's a rare Lincoln penny or a nickel. So Allen going to try to get something going. I bet you guys didn't know I'm also a coin collector. No, I'm not. Dutton, a little bobble, strong throw, not in time. Again, Brandon Dutton went in the hole. He caught it clean on the scoop, but as he was getting ready to put his hand in there, the ball started rolling around, and he hesitated a split second. Leadoff man on. Here's Trevor and Blaine Bailey on deck. So the Sluggers now trying to kind of get back at it. It's amazing how sometimes you get that one inning where you get a goose egg, and all of a sudden it kind of snaps your team back into a ball game. And there's a rocket fair down the line. They're going to try to throw to first, but Allen saw Cole Grua wind up, and he ran hard, and he beats it. So, again, 9 and 10, the bottom of the lineup, setting the table. Tell you, both teams' bottoms are doing a good job, and they've been right in the middle of some big innings. As a former manager, you love to see it.
Nobody. Okay.
And Blaine swings, long fly ball, and center fielder is there, and both runners advance. Good job by Sid Beck. As they were chasing that ball, all of a sudden Brady Fisher looked over at him, and Sid Beck took charge and made the catch. So 1 out now. The tying runs at second and third
Terry, you okay? I got
in
you.
a 10-8 ball game. And here's Austin Allen.
You okay? He's back there. He's back there. You're good. I have you. I have you.
So both of these teams just pounding on each other. And there's a ground ball up the middle to Drew Schulte. He'll throw to first, but a run does score, and it's 10-9. Ball was hit up the middle. Drew was playing on the right field side, and his momentum took him past the bag, so by the time he fielded it, he wasn't going to try to do anything but go to first. Here is Ryan Carroll, tying run at third base with 2 outs. 10-9 ball game. And I tell you, with Chaz Martinez on deck, if you're McMains, you don't want to give Ryan Carroll a free pass because Chaz Martinez looking dangerous. And there's a strike. So here's the pitch. And there's a little chopper up the middle to Drew Schulte, and he makes the play. So they strand the tying run at third as Ryan Carroll can't drive a run. But so we head to the bottom of the sixth, 10-9. The Sluggers get a goose egg. That seventh inning could be a wild ride. So stay tuned in. Tell your friends to jump on the stream. Slow Pitch Softball Association, SSA. Best 16-inch coverage in the country. And it is why we are the leaders in 16-inch softball. And again, we run a lot of tournaments. So for you people out of state checking this event out, depending on your level of experience, we've got everything from Class B to Class A to Major. And if you're interested in maybe getting into or coming to Chicago for a weekend to play some softball, just email us at info@SSA Softball. Here's Drew Striegel. He tries to go down the line, and that's foul. So here we are in a one-run game. In the seventh inning, we have the bottom third of the Syndicate lineup coming up. They've been fantastic all day. We'll see if they got anything left in them here in this ball game. And Drew up the middle, shortstop, Lavender, in time. Corey Lavender didn't get a lot on it, but he got rid of it quickly, and that made the difference. Brings up Drew Schulte. Again, I think if you're Iowa, you're nursing a one-run lead. You know, you really want to try to pick up some insurance, and Schulte just slaps it past Allen up the middle, and they put a one-out base runner.
Hey, roll it up.
And here's Brady Fisher. It's 1 out. Now, Brady, very fast. He's a tough guy to double up. And he hits a towering fly ball. And long run caught by Allen, but he was backpedaling and half twisted. Schulte easily tags, moves into scoring position here with 2 outs.
Hey, got 2.
So Brady Fisher trying to catch him sleeping. A little too much air, and here's the top of the lineup in Angelo Alicia. Now Angelo's doesn't run like he used to, but he is a left-handed hitter, so you can't play him too deep because he will slap it and still try to beat you. And I think maybe Mondo's a little too deep at shortstop. We'll see if Angelo sees it. You can see where Mondo's playing. Angelo hits a very soft two-hopper. No, he pulls it, and it gets through. Big RBI for Angelo Alicia. They had the short center playing on the left field side. Too much room over there. And I'll be honest with you, during Angelo's career, he's done most of his damage from center field to the right field line. And that was just too much space. So they do pick up an insurance run. That makes it 11-9. Here's Jared Carlson. And we got a courtesy runner for Angelo Alicia. Jared Carlson shoots it fair down the right field line. Big turn. And now he gets caught up, and now he gets caught into the pickle. And they're going to, and they get him. That was a big mistake there. He hesitated. And I got to tell you, I think if he goes back to third right away, I think he made it. But he just kind of freaked out there. So that was a big hit there by Carlson. But the base running gaff leads to the third out, and it's do or die seventh for the Sluggers. They trail by 2, 11-9.
We need 3.
So the Sluggers need 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. Again, this is the top of the 7th. So now it should be 11-8. No, you got 9. It should be 11-9. Yeah, that's the bottom line. It's 11-9.
Yeah, we're chasing 2.
Yeah, 11-9. So it's going to be Chaz Martinez, Cody Lavender, and Ivan Chaveria. See, I'm good at saying Chaveria because I had a Chaveria as an assistant coach. His nephew and his nephew's son all played on Mudville. See how I worked that in? So here's Chaz Martinez. It's like everybody's related to Kevin Bacon game. So here we go, Chaz Martinez. And again, they need a base runner to be dangerous in terms of the tie. And, of course, they're not thinking tie. They want to go out with a lead. And there's a high, long fly ball. And Gruel goes back, and he makes the catch about 280. Just a little too much air under that. 1 out. Brings up Cody Lavender. So it's just one of those things where sometimes experience means a lot. Chaz, a young player as far as 16-inch goes. I asked him how he liked the 16-inch game earlier today. He said he does like it. Of course, he's got Major League Baseball on his mind. And there's Lavender, and that's what I mean. The veteran guys, when you've been around, you understand that there is, you just need base runners, and you try to alter your swing a little bit. And Chaz will learn that. So here's Chaveria. Again, if you are the Syndicate, you don't really care about Cody Lavender because you're up a deuce. What you want to do is, on any ball hit to the outfield, you want to keep Chaveria off a second. So big spot in the game, 1 out, 1 on. Top of the 7th, the Syndicate trying to seal the deal and win a title, leading by 2 over the Sluggers from California. Of course, the Syndicate from Iowa. And we are live at Desert Breeze. Live stream powered by Gold Rush Gaming. And that's illegal. If you want to know more about Gold Rush, email them at inquiries@goldrushgaming.com. And there's a strike, full count. Again, there is only 1 out, so the base runner Lavender will not be running. Here's the pitch. And he swings on the ground ball. He tags him and steps on the bag. What a play by the first baseman to end the ball game and win the championship. As the first baseman there, Brandon Gerst, a tall kid, reached out, swiped the ball, tagged the runner, and got to first for the double play. The Syndicate, trailing 8-1 in the ball game, wiped out the lead, came back on the strength of a 4-run third and a 5th-run fourth. They added an insurance run, and they win 11-9. So we're going to cut off and go to George Bliss. He's going to have a separate stream. So thank you very much, and off to George Bliss.